Hi, Spots and Cheap Pops. You're on the air.
Another WrestleMania has come and it has gone. And honestly, for my money, and we're going to get into the specifics in this episode and many episodes after, easily the worst executed, worst built, worst almost in every capacity WrestleMania. I think this is the fourth one under Triple H's supervision. This was a distant fourth place on so many levels. And let's start at the top that is pissing off real wrestling fans throughout the world. Real wrestling fans had a kick in the balls of the likes we have never seen. And I talk about something we talked about after Elimination Chamber. And the biggest problem with that segment, it was a perfect segment to turn John Cena heel, and there was one glaring marble mouth, 125-pound problem who makes shitty music for shitty people. This guy was the reason of the finish of the absolute main event of the entire weekend, John Cena, Cody Rhodes. If you didn't see it, folks, and if you've been living under a rock and don't know yet, 125-pound marble mouth douche Travis Scott gets his receipt with one of the weakest finishers in the game. No offense to Cody, but he always needs three of them to win, right?
Yep.
Sorry. Any pay-per-view, you need three. No receipt at all for Travis Scott. Travis Scott distracts Cody. John Cena does literally the same thing, but on a much lower level. Takes the belt, hits Cody, cheats, AA, and game over. In a pedestrian match that made The Miz and John Cena, WrestleMania 27, look like Flair and Steamboat. But instead of having The Rock, the biggest star on the planet, show up, you have 120-pound marble mouth douche, Travis Scott. And I'm supposed to give a shit now. I'm supposed to take this seriously. And look, I get it. WWE, they are an entity. They are a monster corporate entity. Their number one goal, number one priority, number one loyalty is not to the fans that pay their money, not to the schmucks that pay their money and spend $150, $300, $5,000, $50 per autograph or shitty picture you get with them. No. Not for them. F them. And they'll take it happily, by the way, as we've seen. Many of them. You take that, kick all of them right in the balls. And you know what? I feel like I was kicked in the balls a little bit too, because I don't want Travis Scott, just because he has a bunch of stupid teenagers downloading his skibbity toilet bullshit or whatever the hell are. Feed my daughter, 14-year-old girl. I know I'm raising somebody, right? She actually sat and watched WrestleMania with me. She's like, this song is terrible. What is he even saying? This guy sucks. Thank God my daughter, I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
And so he goes down, and first, let's just talk about the entire match. Let's go out the entire match, but this is the premise I'm going with. I am steamed. I'm not nearly, by the way, I checked out my boy Dave LaGreca. Wow.
He was pissed.
Wow. Woo. I don't know if I can go as hard as Dave LaGreca. Here in my respect. Woo.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how similar we were until I saw that rant.
And I saw the same. I saw the same rant, and he honestly, I agreed with it 100%.
He was right. This time he was right. He wasn't wearing a pink bunny outfit or whatever the hell he rocks. But God bless LaGreca. And I'm like, wow, that's just crazy. But he was really pissed. I'm to that level, and wrestling usually doesn't get me to that level. But that's what this did. And we start off with John Cena, and everyone loved this entrance. It was a cool little dynamic. It was nice. John Cena comes out. Dark, no fanfare, just dark spotlight on with a spotlight on him. The rest of the arena dark. Cody comes out. He had the bells and whistles. He had the pyro. He had the elevator. He did I don't know what was going on. That mask didn't look that cool though. I didn't like it.
He had dirt bikes too. Remember, like BMX bandits almost.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I didn't know what that had to do anything with Cody Rhodes, but okay, they just went for it.
It was just, yeah, that's what WWE is right now. It's just okay. It's our big event. Let's just make sure it's a spectacle so the stupid people can forget about how we built this event terribly and how we're going to have the worst finish in WrestleMania history.
They should have just had Stone Cold running over innocent bystanders with an ATV as Cody was walking out there.
And no, you know what? Before we get into the match, that's another thing. This is the problem with WWE. I get this is where I was going before. I get you're a corporate entity and your loyalty is to your stockholders. But if you're going to have Stone Cold Steve Austin come out, can it do more than just announce your attendance record, which, by the way, is probably horseshit anyway? But that's what you have Stone Cold do now? That's what you do? And it just shows you who WWE is. And they're taking everybody with them. They are all about how can we push our brand? How can we get stupid people to pay more attention that aren't paying attention, but they can start paying attention now? We bring out Stone Cold. Ooh, what a great surprise. And Stone Cold reads off a bunch of numbers and almost kills a woman. And when he's drinking his beers, he wasn't really drinking them. I don't know if you noticed that. He spills quite a lot.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of a spillage factor there.
More so than usual. I mean, he's doing this, so I get it. But there were I felt like he wasn't swallowing any. Maybe he's not drinking anymore, and he just has to show like he is. But that was terrible, and it just, again, all you hear about these things is, okay, this Triple H will come out, and I'm like, all right, well, first of all, we're going to talk about these great numbers. Record this, record that. We're charging more money to more people, yeah, we're all getting richer, and the billionaires are getting richer, and you people are stupid and keep on giving us your money, idiots. They do that every single pay-per-view. They even are now spilling over into the friggin' show. This has been the most successful, the largest gate ever. That just means you're making more money. And I get that you're a money-making machine. I don't give a shit if you make money. I give a shit if you put on a good product.
Yeah.
But they keep on doing it, and it just this corporate just bullshit. It's like Disney, ESPN. It has now, that's WWE. And if they're not putting out good stories and good content, all your bells and whistles and rap artists and bullshit isn't going to matter. We've seen it time and time again. This wheel goes round and round and round. But if I'm Tony Khan, this is where you separate the two. We don't give a shit about corporate interests. We don't give a shit about bullshit rap stars being the main angle in our finish to the biggest show of the year. We're for the real wrestling fan. That's how AEW and other promotions who are absolved of not being bought out by WWE. But you know what? Nobody is. They just bought out AAA.
Yep.
And New Japan is on that wish list. No one's going to tell me different.
Oh,
if that happens, you're screwed.
Yep.
They're going to have because now they're infecting the indies. They are infecting the independent wrestling scene. They're buying out promotion from promotion, sprinkling their money everywhere because everyone knows everyone's going to do it for the dollar. That is what this business is based on, not the art. But if the WWE doesn't do the art right, you just hope that Tony Khan's dad has enough money to keep this train going, to make sure we keep that independent light still, not even independent light, but real, true pro wrestling light, and not this corporate ass, corny ass bullshit where you have to bring in 125-pound marble mouth douche named Travis Scott. Anyways, so then Cody comes out, Lottie, and what are you thinking about this match at this point in time? As far as I'm concerned, I wasn't expecting Flair Steamboat.
No, I
was
never.
Okada, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Flair Steamboat. I wasn't expecting Macho Steamboat, of course, with the WrestleMania theme. But what I did like is this. I thought it was interesting that Cena was sort of more of a grappler, changed his style a little bit, and it was a little bit of he was a little bit of a different type of wrestler, which, okay, now all of a sudden Cody Rhodes has to adapt to, right? Which makes it a little different. And as they set the table, I'm like, okay, this is going in a good direction. Okay. I had no doubt Cena was going to win. You and I discussed the predictions and all that. I knew that they were going to go make history there. So with that in mind, the fact that he's going to go and surpass Ric Flair of all people, the the greatest of all time, if you will, and the greatest of all time embarrassments as well. So they're killing two birds, one stone here for wrestling history. Excuse me. Excuse me again. So you have this, and I like where they were going with it until that goddamn moment hit where Travis Scott's music hit. And then he comes out.
And
it's
dude,
him.
20 and what did he take him 20 minutes to walk down to the ring?
Pretty much with his hardcore Mick Foley belt, Cactus Jack, like he's some sort of fan that you see at WrestleCon, coming down there like he's a badass, which he's not. Okay? And then you have Cena laughing as if he's got all the cards on the table because Travis Scott is walking out.
I need a Scott Hall this.
Ooh. Right? Yeah. Yeah. And so he comes out, and he's got his distraction. Again, it's not The Rock or the final boss. It's Travis fucking Scott.
125-pound marble mouth douche.
Yep. And here he comes, and I'm like, they just ruined it. I said it to myself out loud. I go, whatever happens from now, this is bullshit. So, of course, he gets involved, gets hit with the crossroads.
Receipt.
Right? Yeah, bullshit receipt. He should have.
He was celebrating, standing up like nothing hurt him at all at the end of the match.
Yeah, no sold it. The thing that bothered me too. Okay, so after his interference in this match, which is where it went off the rails. Okay, you had the moment between Cena having the belt and he's about to go and hit Cody. Cody gets the belt and Cena begs him not to hit him. And Cody's like, oh, I don't know. He hems and haws. And you know what bothered me about that, man? It brought me back to the Kevin Owens match where Cody used a chair. So why is it, I ask you, Mr. Silicon Steve Valley, why is it okay for Cody to use a chair against Kevin Owens, who did less to Cody, versus John Cena, who did more to Cody more recently in a larger spot? Why did he have this moral crisis all of a sudden?
Which he's never had before. His entire time as a babyface, he never had it.
Exactly. And that really bothered me, Mr. Valley. So, that's what pissed me off. Okay? That was bullshit. And the fact that the final boss wasn't there at any point, in being that common thread, which brought us to this point. Think about the Raw after WrestleMania last year. You had final boss and Cody in the ring. This would have tied it up nicely, no?
Well, and Moana needed its reshoots, bro.
Oh, let me add to this. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I didn't talk about this to you in pre-production. Do you know who's going to be on the Pat McAfee show today, Mr. Valley?
Today? The Rock.
Yeah, the final boss. So he's making an appearance on an ESPN show with a Raw announcer, but he doesn't appear at WrestleMania in this moment with Cody and Cena.
But you had 125-pound marble mouth douche, Travis Scott, showing up.
Exactly. So this match got ruined, and to me, it was a shitty way for Cena to go and win his 17th title to become the all-time record breaker, if you will. It really stained it, and I get it. He's the heel. He should have cheated to win, absolutely. Okay? But you didn't need that douche to be involved in it by any points. And you should have had The Rock. I don't even care. You didn't even need fanfare. You just needed him to walk out there and basically be the distraction himself, just awaiting the moment to happen. As if he knew, hey, he's the final boss, the omnipotent final boss. And they fucking avoided all that. But yeah, he can go and make an appearance today on Pat McAfee. So this is where I'm a little bit confused as a wrestling fan, as just somebody that enjoys the storylines, that has, critiqued them for years now with you. This is sort of off the rails now. And I agree with LaGreca. They made Cody look weak after a hell of a reign here for over a year. Mm-hmm. He put that company on his back. He did what he was supposed to. And how do they repay him? They make him look like a douchebag.
Pussy.
Yeah.
But what they could probably be cooking up is a Cody heel turn later on down the road. But that's the only thing I could think of, because then he'll have to. But at the end of the day, he already broke that covenant there. He's not going to cheat. He's broken that covenant a lot in his day as he has gone on since he turned babyface in mid 2018. So
listen, man, I don't think you're turning Cody until Cena's out of the picture at the very least. So
no, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yeah, you have almost another year. So for the next year, you just basically went and neutered him, if you will. It really dropped him a bit, and it shouldn't have been that way. It should have been Cena outsmarting him to a certain level. Like Cena has never reached those depths to go and obtain that belt, versus having some half-ass rapper walk out there who isn't athletic, who isn't imposing, and is just basically a fly on on the ass of an elephant at this point.
Yeah, it's terrible. And what it does is it shows that the WWE does not really care about their fans. It's all bullshit. They care about your money. And we've said that. I've been consistent about that. But it seemed like Triple H would actually care about the stories and not put the corporate bullshit first. He's proven this weekend he puts corporate bullshit over his fans. And it impacts his ability to be as good of a booker and as good of a creator as he wants to be. And I'll tell you another thing. This whole thing where they're opening up, peeling back every curtain possible, and now the creative process of how you make the sausage, it's a little too much. It's a little too much, but that's where the business is going. So that's where the business is going. You are the business. This is the exact reason why AEW is so necessary. When people say they want it out of business and they hate it, no. This is the reason why. Because if WWE has open season on the entire wrestling world, shit goes bad.
Yeah.
Too many grubby billionaires have their shitty little hands in it, and it's bad for the fans. I invest a lot of my time into professional wrestling. And when you have a putt to make creatively, you hit the ball in the fucking hole. You don't say, hey, let's bring in Travis Scott to hit the ball in the hole.
Yeah.
Who most of your crowd hates. And it's not because they hate him because he's so good on the mic or he's so imposing of a heel.
Yeah.
It's because he's ruining your top storyline. And he ruined your WrestleMania. And now, officially, ladies and gentlemen, this is impromptu. We didn't talk about it. Can you tell me a worse finish to WrestleMania in the history of WrestleMania? This is 41 now. What? Hogan beating Yokozuna at WrestleMania 9? That's the one that gets all the headlines. Obviously, because the match was so bad. See, I disagree with you, by the way. The one thing I'll say, I was not in awe. It was different, but it's not like John Cena was Kurt Angle out there.
Oh, no.
He's pedestrian. And we've said this with Cody and Cena. They're good, but they need a great dance partner to be great. I don't know why I said partner like that. But they need a great dance partner to be great. That's what they need. Cena needs Kevin Owens, AJ Styles. Why don't we talk about great Randy Orton, John Cena matches? They've wrestled each other 3,000 times because outside of I believe it was their last man standing match, it was never considered a classic great match by anybody outside of WWE. But I'll tell you what, I'll talk about that AJ Styles John Cena match at SummerSlam and the one at the Royal Rumble. We'll talk about those. We'll talk about Kevin Owens and John Cena and Sami Zayn and John Cena. And if we talk about The Miz and John Cena, it's because it was the worst main event in wrestling history. Yep. That was the worst main event. This, outside of, I always say, Lawrence Taylor and Bigelow. But what, can you tell me a worse finish to WrestleMania? Maybe Lawrence Taylor, because who gives a shit? But
yeah, and then, and again, the point you're making too, it's like you have the stupid gimmick involved where Travis Scott was so not needed again. And this is where if he didn't come out and Cena wins, we're not having this conversation like this. No. That's how bad he is, and he has no right or reason to be there. And again, I don't really. What's one of my favorite things to say is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yes.
Like, why the hell? Like, is it really that worth it for this guy? Does he move the needle that much to those fans that paid thousands of dollars to go and sit there for 8 hours over 2 nights or whatever it was, to go and see this culmination of the 17th time that this guy's going to win the title, and it was because of Travis Scott. Like, who's drunk at the wheel here?
Thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. For Vladi Dottie, this is Silicon Steve Alley. Hit the subscribe button and let us know what you think. Thank you for watching, and here endeth the lesson.